even in the best of circumstances, zoos are melancholy. Like even if you go and you see the baby, red panda at the zoo, there's this. You're always walking a line with a zoo, and you're walking this line that is so easy to cross, where you kind of snap out of it for a minute, and you're like, "What the fuck am I doing here?"
Yeah.
It feels really like, whoa, I'm not sure.
That is the zoo feeling, right? Though,
that's the zoo feeling. And then you get a drink in a monkey-shaped cup, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? The reason I say this is that the zoo is meant to evoke a certain kind of high-minded scientificism, a kind of high-minded humanity, and a kind of very high-minded emotional connection to the creatures. It's meant to evoke all of the things. And the thing is, you snap out and you see the Matrix for a minute and you go whoa, something about this doesn't quite feel right. I'm not sure I should feel that scientificism about this.
I have an idea about that. I think part of the fantasy of the zoo is the idea that if we're just sort of scientific enough and we manage everything enough, we can save all these animals, right? It's the bad news is you're looking at one of the last black rhinos on the face of the planet. But the good news is if we learn enough about them and study them and raise them in captivity, eventually we can save the species and put them back into the wild. And I find that to be a very seductive ideology, in the sense that it doesn't even seem like an ideology. It just seems like common sense. It doesn't seem like a thing you have to believe, but of course that's exactly what ideology
is. Yeah.
But it is ideology because it has this fantasy of what's wrong with the planet is that we haven't quite tinkered enough. We need to get in there and twist the knobs a little bit more.
Right.
And if we just get all the numbers lined up right, we'll save all the rhinos. And we won't. The problem is that we need to change. That's the whole problem. It's there's no tinkering our way out of
we'll be able to solve all of this if we just get a little more science sauce.
Yeah.
Right. Or science spray. We just, you know what I mean?
We're not doing enough. If we do a little more, if we get a little more involved, that ought to do it this time.
But it's also learning the wizard's true name, and how Texas versus California has, even by the same company, has very different textbooks. But guess what? Here's the science sauce. Those are all under the inviolable, unassailable aegis of what we call education. And everybody knows education is good. You're not allowed to say anything bad about education because education is the thing that helps everything. It's the science sauce of children, right? So, but that's how that works though. What science? In my environmental ethics class, we had to read this essay called Playing God in, I think it's called Playing God in Yosemite. But the ecologists and the well-meaning hippies said, ooh, hey, this is not cool, man. The coyotes are there's too many. It's like the game of life. There's too many coyotes and they're eating all their bunnies. And now the sweet bunnies are dying. And so you go in and you try to just tinker a little bit. You tinker, do a little bit of Westworld. You spray some science sauce. And you say, well, we're going to introduce more of these. No matter what you do, you fuck it up worse. Now there's too many fucking bunnies. Right? Or now they're the bunnies are taking over, and then wait, I gotta dump in some more coyotes. Beep, beep, beep. And you can't go in and futz with that and spray science on the bunnies. It's not gonna make it better.
The ultimate fantasy here that this is the real head fuck for me. It's the ultimate fantasy. I think that why is this ideology so appealing to people? The science sauce ideology. It's because it imagines that we're somehow outside of this loop, right? That there's this loop of nature where it's the coyotes eating the bunnies and their population and this and that. And that's over there. That's the animals. But we're over here doing our thing and we just need to spray the science sauce. Well, that's not the case. We're in the system with everyone else.
To quote the great Palmolive commercial of my youth, you're soaking in it.
You're soaking in it.
You know what I mean? No, that's the thing. This is the ultimate kind of Buddhist LSD mindfuck. Is everything we do is part of nature. If we dump dioxins on the people who are delivering the coyotes and bunnies with the sauce, that's part of nature too.
Yeah,
we're not outside the system looking in as a we're not the Galactus of bunnies.
Yeah, they're not trapped in here with us. We're trapped in here with them.
Must investigate further.
Oh, you're crazy. It's a farce.